All right. So, I don't know if anybody has seen my last video, right? So, um, I'm gonna try to see if I can explain it even more. So, I had this idea in my head for a while. I know at some point I had looked into like what types of things you can do that can reflect light, absorb light, or deflect it. And I remember, um, I don't remember who, but I was talking to another TI online, and I was like when I was researching, there's all types of conductive material that absorbs or that absorbs energy or that can basically transfer or conduct it and transfer it somewhere else. And then someone was like, "Well, we're also dealing with light energy, so you also want to think about things that can basically reflect it or trap light." So someone told me something about if you take two mirrors and face them towards each other, so that's one mirror and the other mirror is like on the other side, and they said place them in front of each other and then like you can move it around your head or whatever. And I remember that funny thing was my mother had just recently bought this black one here. And then there's a TI, he goes by Hawaii Mike, and he's like, he took some neodymium magnets and he placed a few of them on a 10x mirror. So at first I started with just the mirrors themselves, right? And I held it over my head, and then as soon as I started to hold it over my head, I started to feel pressure relieving in my head. So then as I closed my eyes so then I could take away one sense and just focus on what I'm actually feeling. As I move the mirrors around, I start to feel pressure relief in different sections of the brain. Primarily, like if I go around to the back, that's where your visual cortex is. That's where you process images and light. Well, at least that's where you process light and you know everything that you see. Then if you come to the side, that's where your auditory cortex is, where you process sound, and your memory processing area as well. So I started moving it over there, and I started to feel pressure relief, relief in my head. So then I said, let me pick it up a notch, and I started adding, neodymium magnets to the magnet. So I added some to that side, and there's also, let me see, I don't know if you can see it, but there's some in the middle, right? So I added the magnets to the mirrors as well. So as I start to move it around, I kid you not, like the magnets themselves aren't that heavy, right? But as I'm moving the magnets and the mirrors around my head, the mirrors, not that I'm like, and I'm a strong dude, so holding this for a long time is nothing. I'm used to holding things, for periods of time. I work out, my job is, physically demanding. So I'm like holding two mirrors and some magnets for, 60 seconds or 2 minutes or whatever. It's not hard at all. But as I'm holding them over my head and the around the areas that I'm feeling, that I mostly feel the frequencies at, I am feeling the mirrors themselves actually get heavier. Like they took on weight. Like something I know what the something is basically the mass, the on a quantum scale, energy has a mass weight. Energy has a weight. So as I'm like moving the mirrors around, I'm feeling the mirrors actually take on more weight, like it's absorbing weight, like it's absorbing something. So, and then even as I move it on around the side here, I then begin to feel like something coming off of my body. Like I'm beginning to feel like as I'm moving it around the side here, I could literally feel I could literally feel like something is pulling off of my body. Now, remember I told you we're dealing with, near infrared light that is basically channeling energy or focusing energy. And then we're also dealing with infrasound, and sound even carries energy. Now, what I think is probably happening is the magnets is absorbing the energy from probably the light, the near infrared light, and maybe the infrasound. And then it's like, and then the weight isn't changing. This is why I'm asking for other people to try this. If you have some magnets and you have two mirrors, try to see if you can do a similar thing, because the weight didn't change. Like I could tell you right now, if I took it apart and then replaced everything together, the weight will probably, be different from when you're holding it now after you moved it around your head or your body. Now, funny thing is, as I started to do that, right, I then began to hear, the surrounding gang stalkers basically commenting, not just the V2K, but those who are also operating along with the handlers, because you got your handlers who's basically operating the technology from some remote location somewhere else. Then you have the people who probably surround you, who's working in cohesion with the people in a remote location. So I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and upload that one first in case they get a little, what's the word? Uneasy. And and I said, let me make sure I do a short. That way, it's harder to disrupt the speed or upload connection to a short than it would be for me to upload like a full, like a full, several minute long video. So I also recorded I also recorded with um, my infrasound recorder to catch whatever dialogue that I can of the surrounding gang stalkers, right? So yeah, whoever tries this and they get a similar response, remember the infrasound recording app. There's two of them that you can use. That one is called Decibel X. Then there's another one that you can use that's called um there's another one. It's something here. Hold on. The other one is called Hear Boost, right? And basically, what these apps can do is they can record. Well, Decibel X will record just about, and they'll give you a visualization of just about every frequency that it picks up, right? Whether it's extremely low or extremely high, it'll pick up on just about every frequency because your cell phone microphone is sensitive enough to pick up just about almost every frequency, just as much as your speakers can basically, once they hack your phone, they can use your phone to emit, or play various frequencies even without you, technically being able to hear it. Your phone is emitting frequencies that you might not be aware of. This is one of the reasons why every time when I come into the house, I turn my data off. I turn my cellular network data off, and then I then I put my phone on airplane mode. The moment I do that, instantly I feel a drop in pressure in my head. That's instantly. And then I would just turn my Wi-Fi on, but I think even when I turn my Wi-Fi on, that also that also helps them still. But I'm like, I don't necessarily want to be, without a phone in general. I mean, if I just didn't know nobody, I wouldn't care about having my phone on. But I figured, is I gotta have communication with people in general, So, but anyway, yeah. So that's my finding so far. Crazy enough, there's a lot of heat. There's a lot of heat coming off the magnets. there is, yeah, there's a lot of heat coming off the magnets. Matter of fact, let me see. Y'all remember this? This is my electromagnetic radiation tester. Well, yeah, obviously the magnets are going to give off like a its own magnetic energy too. But it's just interesting to note that as I wave my hand, over the magnets are just spewing, like they're like literally spewing heat. It's literally emitting heat. The magnets themselves are emitting heat. And mind you, I was not touching the magnets themselves. The magnets themselves are emitting heat. I'm waving my hand like it's cool over here. It's cool here. It's cool over here, and it's cool over here. But the moment my hand comes over the magnets as they're attached to the mirrors, as my hand come over the magnet as they're attached to the mirrors, there is heat coming from the magnets. This is why I tell y'all, it's what we're dealing with is thermal and it's magnetic. So, and I'm getting chills as I say this. So I hope this video get uploaded before I die. Cause I'm like, before anything happens to me, I hope somebody else can confirm all this. Because I'm like, yo, I am letting God lead me every step of the way, and I'm praying that my guardian angels protect me in ways that I probably might not even be able to protect myself in. But whew, I felt that, and like I got the goosebumps and everything. So all I'm saying is we got to like do everything we can to record and learn as much as, like I tell people, I don't know anything about technology. I don't know anything about physics. All this stuff that I've been learning over the last, what I guess you could say close to 2 years, because they didn't really expose themselves to me until about October of 2020. So now here we are about to reach full 2 years, and the crazy part is they always would say he's a professional about it, and I'm like, professional? I literally just started doing this. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm literally being guided by God and in everything that is right, So whatever that I'm learning right now, I'm not getting it just from myself. I got guidance that's coming to me, and I have to be a representation of God's light and everything that is righteous in his world so then I can help other people who are having their wills stripped away from them. And that's because some people either are too afraid to want to address it, some people are too afraid to speak up about it, some people are too afraid to lose their life, some people are too afraid to lose their freedom because, I mean, the honesty about it all. Righteous people get wrongfully imprisoned all the time. Righteous people get murdered all the time. Righteous people get, attacked or if you're doing anything that basically goes against the system or the establishment or, the principalities that is trying to control our physical world, they normally try to see if they can crush you. But here's the best part. The Bible tells you that even though they may mold down the lives of the righteous, they may try to destroy people who are peaceful. They may try to destroy and murder the lives of those who, are trying to be a positive light in this world, a loving light, a honest light, genuine light. We still multiply. We still multiply. It doesn't matter how many one by ones they take out of us or how many, several other people, that they take out of us. There's more people. I mean, when you think about resurrection, we might die we might leave our vessels, but you know what? I actually believe in the idea of, people realizing they might have had a former life, because I think when we're resurrected, we might actually be born into another vessel. We just don't have we just don't have a recollection of our past life. So, I just got another chill when I said that. But anyway, yeah, somebody try this out and confirm it with me because this is crazy. Like the amount of heat, and it's still heavy. Like, it's still heavy. These magnets are not that heavy, but I believe they absorb the energy that is being directed on my body, and they're I don't know how much of an interference that they're causing, but something is happening, and all of a sudden it starts raining. That's interesting. Is it raining? Yeah, I guess it started. It started raining. I don't know. I hear something hitting my window. So, but anyway, yeah. Hey, listen to this, and I don't know. Y'all try to figure out everything like I'm trying to figure out. Take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.